Last one. Oh my god. They're so heavy. Oh my gosh. Alright. That's not so bad. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm back, and tonight we're going to do some diff stuff.
Alright, Tiffany, focus. Alright guys, welcome back. As you saw in the intro, Tiffany is back from her, we'll call it a vacation. So today we are going to pull apart the diffs from both the FRS, the BRZ student car, and Tiffany's S2000. We're going to change gears because of the J series only revving to 7,500 RPM. We're not going to be able to run the same steep gearing we ran last year. We won't have enough mile an hour for some of the faster tracks. Also, as we took the diffs apart, we have realized poor Tiffany's diff is not in very good shape. I mean, you can barely turn the pinion. When we drained this last year, or last season, we did find some stuff that was in the oil, and we knew that it was going to need a refresh. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if there's a bearing that's seized up in here. Kind of feels like it. I don't know if there's a bearing going bad in here or if we have something else going on, but we're gonna have to see. The other thing with so both of our cars both run OS Geekin, I don't know however you want to say it. Both run the same clutch type LSD. This one I bought off of eBay a few years back. It actually came from a demo car in Japan. What's interesting about it is I sent it into OS to have them set it up for our particular application, and they actually called me to ask where I got it because it had some pieces in it that were not released to the public. It has some like upgraded internals that aren't things that they've sold to the public yet. So what we're gonna do is when we get this one out, tomorrow we'll take it out to Dean's where we have another same OS LSD for an FRS, and we're going to tear them both apart and compare what the inside pieces are and see just what's different about it. So Tiffany's going to start buzzing this one apart. So those of you guys that have not taken apart an S2000 diff, S2000s have separate flanges, separate yokes that go into the rear differential, where the FRS BRZ chassis, the axle actually goes inside of the differential. So these have snap rings. You just got to bang them off with a hammer and some kind of bar. Tiffany, Tiffany, have at it. Come on, Tiffany.
Wait. See, I knew it was.
Swing that purse.
I don't want to in my hand. All right. Can you hold it?
I'm scared to hold it with you swinging the hammer.
All right. See, I don't think it's supposed to be that.
Nope.
Jeez, it is like.
Yeah, you can't turn it. It's all seized up. All right, come on, hit it with a hammer.
I don't think I have enough.
So hold on. So put it at more of an angle like that.
Yeah, okay. I think it's just, I've hit my head on the one here. Danger. This is like.
Oh my God.
Hey, we're almost there.
Right, okay, all right.
There we go.
Boom. Okay, same thing on the other side.
Like a glove. Actually, can I hit it from up here? I feel like I'd be more comfortable.
Okay, all right, okay.
How's it look?
Yep.
Fills.
Okay.
Perfect. Like a glove.
Okay.
Do those look bad?
No. Anything? So those look good. All right. Okay, take off all your 12 mils.
Justin just likes to supervise.
I'm just supervising today. We've been working without for weeks.
That's why you made me carry all the diffs in here too. I think he's getting back at me. We're not putting any labor.
The half-inch drive impact's probably a little overkill, but
it is. last one. Oh, hold.
She's around now.
Strip it like a pro.
All right. So why don't you buzz the 12 mils or 14 mils off of this one? Let me go get a pry bar for that.
Once again, do all the labor. Don't mix our bolts up.
Yours are 12s, it's obvious. And yours are all round from you stripping. So something else that's kind of interesting is those of you that are familiar with S2000 differentials, these are known to have weak links.
Yes.
This is one that was done. I don't think the company's not in business anymore. I don't remember what the company was. This has some reinforcement pieces in it to strengthen it, and it's held up really well. So we'll see what's in here. We also have developed some studs and some other pieces for the S2000 differentials to strengthen them up. We're going to be selling those. But the S2000, I believe this is let's see. So this is a stock S2000 ring gear. I think this is a 7-inch ring gear. Yeah, so the S2000 is a 7-inch ring gear, and I'm pretty sure the FRS BRZ is an 8-inch ring gear, which is just one of the issues of strength, which is why these are so much weaker than these. There's a few other things that we'll talk about that makes them stronger, but let's open them up and see kind of what we got going on. So Tiffany, why don't you get the chisel?
I'm great. That stuff isn't so bad though. Are we really gonna? Oh. Easy with my dip.
Alright, hold on to her.
Nice. You cracked it.
She didn't really mean I cracked it.
You know.
Alright, so that's not a good sign.
Don't tell me that.
Well, so as you can see on the S2000, so this piece here is not factory. This is a piece that was made to reinforce the cap. So these like to crack, and this is threaded. This actually is what sets the preload on the bearings. So what's a little concerning is if you look at this little tab, this is made to lock this from turning. And if you look, it's actually twisted like it's been getting bent, which makes me wonder if this bearing in here is going bad and it's been wanting to spin this nut out of here. But luckily it looks like all of the ring gear is not damaged. See, if you look at this lock looks like it's supposed to be. It's nice in the center. It doesn't look like it's been bent or molested in any way. This one, besides my piece of glove stuck in it, there we go. This one you can definitely tell has been like wanting to get pried out of the hole. So the issue might be on this side. We'll have to wait and see. So these are, Tiffany's is a 477 gear ratio, and I ran a 488. We are both dropping down to factory, which is a 410 on both cars. So, I don't even know. So this actually has, these are ARP bolts. So I guess that must be another part of the reinforcement that's done on this one. It says ARP bolts and this reinforced cap. And I can tell you, Tiffany, how many of these did you break prior to this one?
Only two or three.
So I mean, we broke like three in less than 2 seasons, and this one's been in the car for almost 3 years.
probably
2.5 years.
Yeah, the last ones were made out of paper mache. That was.
Yeah. Factory, they're not very strong at all. So, okay. Tiffany? Why don't you buzz these caps off? So when you take these apart, you want to make sure that you keep track of what side these caps go on. These are not interchangeable from side to side, and you can mix them up. I will have to look. I don't think you can mix them up on the FRS, but you can definitely mix them up on the S2000. So when you take these off, it's a good idea to either stamp them or mark them in some way.
So just throw them all in a pile.
So if you look, last time I had this apart, I put a dot here and here, and on this side, I put 2 dots here and here, so you can keep track of where they go. So we don't have to worry about getting those mixed up.
So I know.
So why don't you buzz those caps off, Tiff?
Yeah.
You guys can't smell this yet. We don't have that kind of technology, but it smells awful in here, like every other diff operation.
Not gonna mix them up. You can't really.
Okay, so just set this one over here. Make it easy. So like I said, they're marked, but it's just a good rule of thumb to kind of have a way you do things. I always try to keep the diff set in one orientation and set my parts from one side to the other side. So let's get a mallet out of here. So take this, and if you gently tap on the caps, I will grab the LSD so it does not fall on the floor.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
I don't like being, I feel like. Alright,
So just tap here gently.
These caps, right?
Yep. Just give it a nice gentle tap.
Alright, that's all.
Okay, there you go. Now one up top. Okay, now pull that cap off.
Nice and gentle.
Okay. So as you guys can see, this is threaded, and the inside of these caps are threaded. So the problem is, if you get these mixed up, the threads won't line up exactly on the other side. You'll end up cross-threading it. What happens when these fail is these caps will actually get stretched a little bit from the load, and these will actually jump out a few teeth, and it'll allow there to be play in this bearing, and then your pinion and ring gear backlash will get excessive, and it'll rip all the teeth off of your gears, which does make them lighter, but does not help you go faster. So, all right. So tap the other side.
I don't think you need me to tap it. You can do it.
No, just give her tap-a-roo.
Tap-a-roo.
All right.
Tap.
Pull it up. All right. Give the top of the LSD a little tap. No, up here. No, like a. Okay. Come on.
That's
all right.
That's more than a tap.
All right, let's loosen these up a little bit. So tap on the back of this. Please don't hit my hand. Just gentle taps.
Like harder?
Keep going. No, you're good.
Oh.
Keep going. Okay, hold on. Okay, keep going. This is what trust looks like. Tiffany does not have control of this hammer. Choke up on it a little bit. It's terrifying.
It is terrifying for me.
All right.
Because I know I am with a hammer.
Oh, okay. So here's one of our problems.
Oh, wait, what don't?
So.
What is it?
If you look, the ring is actually cracked.
Oh.
So if you look here, see that? That little micro crack right there?
No, a micro crack like that
Do you
can
see that
change,
crack?
Make that difference?
What do you? It's not supposed to be cracked, Tiffany. So it looks like this is the tooth where this little guy was stuck into, and it looks like it pried on it so hard, it actually cracked. Is that showing up on camera?
No, but this one here, Justin. This one though. Can I pull this one off? Check it out. This one was the one though that dug into this one right here. So
let me see that one.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to mix them up. But that's where this one looked like it was prying.
So this one's not cracked.
This one's bent.
So what? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so that's, I don't.
See, that's where I'm saying.
That kind of sucks.
Oh.
So we'll have to get Dean the Legend's opinion on that, but I'm sure he's not going to be thrilled to see that. So, all right, so let's take this out of here. So this stays over there. Okay, so that bearing feels all right.
Just throwing it around.
So this bearing's definitely got some. The bearing's definitely got some wear on it, but it doesn't look alarming. How about the pinion? Oh, well, there's our problem.
I feel like we've evaluated 3 different problems here.
So the pinion bearing is shot. So this should take little to no effort. It's not turning anything. It's literally just the bearing. And turn that, Tiffany. Does that feel okay to you? Is that past is that a go, no go for you?
No go.
No go. So the pinion bearing shot on this. Luckily we already have one on here. So we'll have to address that, but there's the S2000. Here, let's put these back. Oh boy. A good rule of thumb is
It's not his diff, so.
I think my workbench is more fragile than the diff, honestly. So let's see. This one has 1 dot. This has 2 dots. So it goes
Top I put.
over here.
Top I put over here.
All right. So a good way to keep track of these. Put these together like this.
I don't see it. There's no chunks of anything, so that's always a good sign.
So if you take these, you can actually bolt them on here with your rings so you don't lose track of them.
That's smart.
Okay, why don't you put your side on the other side. Oh boy, that's...
No big deal.
I'm very frustrated with that. Not sure what to do about that ring. Okay, put yours in there. Spin it around. Match the shapes. There you go. You got this on backwards as well. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it's like it's like when you had that shape game when you were younger and you put the square peg in the round hole. It doesn't fit. So Timmy just took the hammer back then and just slammed her on through.
Didn't play well. Alright. Well, it's not like permit, so. Justin likes to stay within the lines, you know. Yeah. Just like to color outside the box.
There's good coloring outside there in the box, and then there's Tiffany.
Alright.
Alright, so we'll set that one aside. Okay, so Tiffany.
Yep. I got it.
Try not to get all the Milwaukee tools covered in oil. Let's pop this one open.
Ooh, who's doing the tap?
I'm not gonna let you.
Here. Okay.
Yeah, why don't you wipe that down?
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm a big believer in just throwing your gloves away and putting on fresh ones.
I am not.
I learned it from the surgeon. I think that's what surgeons do. The bloody gloves. Maybe not.
You don't even know.
All right, so you're gonna need a real hammer to get that off.
Well, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Well, you know, if you want me to.
No, I don't want you to.
We'll get a rounded edge over here.
You're the thing of just chopping it off.
I feel like I would. There you go. Okay. You want to hold it? Okay. Beginner's luck.
So you can look, just visually, you can see how much beefier that is than the S2000. Even the actual size of the Geiken itself
Oh yeah, here.
is much bigger than the S2000. So
yeah, but I'm more lightweight, so.
I think her actually might weigh more as well, but we'll put it on a scale and find out. The other thing that makes these stronger, and by no means am I saying the FRS BRZ has an overly strong diff. It's just stronger than the S2000. But you can see the caps are all inside the casting, where on the S2000, all this is just hanging out, just hanging on this casting. It's just, it's an interesting design, but it's really failed us many times. So, yeah. All right, Tiff, why don't you buzz these off?
So happy to be back.
I think those are 17s, maybe even a 19. A lot bigger than the old S2000.
17. Doctor.
Match the ships. Oily gloves right on the tool. All right, so I don't.
You will just put them to the side.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if I have this one marked or not.
Sure. Match. Okay. There you go. Don't you have to?
Yeah, I didn't think it'd just fall out, but I wanted to find out. So the other thing, the other reason why this diff is coming apart, besides just the gearing, like I said, I bought this one on eBay. This was a used demo unit. I'm not sure what they did to it. But last year we had a horrible vibration at 80 miles an hour. We tried several different drive shafts. We had a couple different companies balance the drive shafts, thinking that it was a driveline vibration. We even ended up switching axles and could not get it to go away. We ran all year that way, kind of just didn't have time to deal with it. Come to find out, taking this out of the car, the axle was stuck in the end of the diff. And what I found out was, I'll wait till I get it out, I'll show you guys. But I think that half of the housing is actually messed up. I don't know if it got bent. I don't know if an axle broke inside of here in its past. But this side isn't even smooth. It's got giant gouge marks in it. So it's, yeah, it's not in good shape. And I think that has a lot to do, oh boy. That has a lot to do with our vibration, because we've tried axles, we've tried everything, and it all comes back to this. So this one is much more traditional. This uses shims to set your bearing preload. Much more robust, very simple. I think when I put a micrometer on these, they were the same size, so you can't really get them mixed up. Still kind of follow the same rules and put them on opposite sides. So if you look in here, you can actually see the marks. Can you get light in there and see? There's actually a bunch of scoring inside here that you can catch a fingernail on. And what I'm thinking is, when the axle goes in, it actually holds the axle off center, and it's causing it to shake. And of course, 80 miles an hour is like probably our most average speed, so it's nice. You get to have the vibration most of the time. They've also got a random number stamped in it. So anyway, so like I said, tomorrow we're gonna take these out to Dean's, out to the shop. We're gonna tear both of these apart. The other two guys on our team, Jake and Felipe, both bought Geikens for their S2000s. So we're gonna take Tiffany's apart, and we are going to look at the way the clutch discs, cone springs, and all that are arranged, and see if we can mimic that in theirs without sending them in to the factory. I have a tuning kit that OS Geiken used to sell to the public that they do not sell anymore. I got my hands on from an old race team, had a spare. So I'll be able to set one up. I don't know if I'll be able to get parts set up the other one, but either way, we're going to see what the difference is between this one and one right out of the box. We tried to set our diffs right around 30 to 40 pounds of breakaway torque. And fresh out of the box from OS, they are like 80 to 100, which is way too tight. The car just does not turn. It just wants to push. It acts more like a spool or a welded diff, or a Miller lock, right, Tiffany?
I'm gonna do it.
Dude, we taught Tiff what a Miller lock was, because she didn't understand why it was called a Miller lock, and it's because you use a Miller welder to weld the diff so that's locked solid for drifting. Tiff's gonna.
I'm gonna build a drift.
She's
car.
gonna build a drift car. We don't know what yet, but that's a future video.
It's coming.
So we have disagreements on what it's gonna be, but
we're not gonna Miller lock it.
We're not gonna Miller lock it. We are gonna buy a proper spool and do it the adult way. So we're gonna end this off here. One last look. You can see just how much difference there is between the FRS BRZ and the S2000. I mean, there's literally no comparison in size. And this is really, even the Pinion size in here, this Pinion versus this little guy really tells the story. It's pretty dark in there, but you can really see the difference between the sizing, and that has so much to do with the strength. Dean will have all kinds of tips and insight that we don't know. I mean, he's been playing with these things for, I don't know, decades. So, Tiffany, good job. You made a complete mess. The workbench.
I'm gonna practice my shapes tonight.
So, we found out what's wrong with Tiffany's. Well, several things. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that. We'll see what Dean seems to think, and we'll start getting things switched around. But
some bearings.
It's not destroyed. We've taken them apart. Looked much worse. So, thanks for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Please subscribe.